First things first, before I cannonball into the spaghetti and meatballs of today's topic, I'd like to let you all know I've been actively working on my Mickey Mouse impression, so please let me know your thoughts. Pluto! So with that out of the way, I'm going to show you all of my analytics from my lifetime of being on YouTube and almost a decade of being on Twitch. Now, the reason for this is, a week ago I made a video called I'm Turning It Off, and in that video I'm explaining why I'm disabling any and all means of people having the ability to donate money to me. No more super chats, no more YouTube memberships, for all intents and purposes, no more bits on Twitch. I say all intents and purposes because you can't actually fully disable that on Twitch. Once you start streaming on there, you're fucking shackled to the bits ecosystem. It cannot be turned off. So I made the minimum so high that no one can pay it, hopefully, and actively discouraging people from subbing on Twitch as well. Any and all avenues where people could just give me clams, I am just putting the kibosh on. I should have done this a long time ago, but better late than never. Might as well get the farty sharded now. The reason is super simple. I would much rather you keep your money. Use it for yourself or use it for things you deem important, whether it's charitable causes or what have you. But just stop forking it over to me. Now, since posting that video, there's been a lot of questions and even somewhat of a pushback from other streamers about how, this sets a bad precedent where it, starts to shame other streamers if they don't follow my footsteps here. Let me be clear. I'm not trying to make a rallying cry here. I'm not your dad. You do what you want with your own streams. Keep donations and subs on out the wazoo forever. I don't care. That's your prerogative. This was just my own personal decision. Obviously, that wasn't the most prevalent take or anything, but it is a conversation I saw stirring about after I posted that video, because there are some streamers that believe that normal people having the ability to give them money helps them feel included in the community, part of the crew, part of the ship, and it's integral to the streaming experience to be able to sub and donate and things like that. I've never really shared that perspective. I've always viewed streaming as content that you are providing to viewers for free, and if someone's nice enough to toss you a doubloon, you tip your fedora saying, "Holly jolly, thanks for the Reddit gold, kind stranger," and move on. But it's not an obligation, and no one should feel like they need to be able to give you money to be included in the community. That feels very parasocial to me. But that's just my own view on it. But what I will tell you, breaking the magician's code here, there is no top streamer that needs your financial support to put food on the table or continue providing those streams for you. Also, the bulk of a streamer's income comes from ads in the first place. Anyway, though, I think this stems from people just not really knowing how much money a top streamer can make on Twitch, for example. So let me show you my analytics from my lifetime on Twitch. Now, Twitch analytics are a little wonky here on the back end, so I wasn't able to just set the date range from 2017 to 2025 because it would just freeze. It would just have a conniption. I bet the Twitch HQ, a server, just fucking caught flame with me trying to do that, so I had to break it up into chunks. So in 2017 is when I really started actually streaming on Twitch. I had dabbled in 2016, but it wasn't until 2017 where I got partnered and everything. So from 2017 to 2019, I made $55,500 for those 2 years. And I wasn't full-time streaming at this point or anything. It was just a bit of goofing around, having some fun, and it brought in $55,500. From 2019 to 2021 is when I took it a lot more seriously, as you can see. My time streamed went from 600 hours on the 2 years to 3,600 hours, and I made $1.2 million for those 2 years. And this was before my Twitch contract, so the only ads that were running on my stream were the pre-roll ads, the ones that Twitch would insert themselves. So this was still without ads, by the way. $1.2 million, almost 1.3. Then I got a Twitch contract which necessitated a certain amount of ads, 3 minutes of ad time per hour. And from 2021 to basically 2025, I made $4.1 million. And to those astute observers amongst you with those keen peepers, you might notice that my subscriptions are less than half of what they were for the previous 2-year period. So even though I have 180,000 less subs across these 3 years than I did for the previous 2, I still made significantly more and that is because of ads. Ads are the breadbasket to streamers. That is the jelly to the peanut butter sandwich that is streaming. And keep in mind, these numbers here, the 4.1, the 1.2, those don't even include brand deals or sponsorships. And I didn't have any like ancillary donations, but a lot of streamers do through like Streamlabs for like text-to-speech, stuff like that. So that doesn't include any of those other means of making money through the medium. This is solely through just Twitch itself. And I think something important to mention, contrary to popular belief, I am not a top streamer. I am also not even a full-time streamer, and I haven't been for over a year and a half. So my 2025 earnings, I didn't really put them here. It's about 100K. So another thing to add to the total here. But I'm not even a full-time streamer anymore, and I haven't been a top 20 streamer probably since the fucking Among Us boom. You know, back in the prehistoric internet age now. Like, the Among Us era is the only time where I broached, like, the top 20. I've not been in that ball game for a while, and yet this is still a crazy amount of money, where there is no reason I should be taking money from just normal people working normal, everyday jobs. It just doesn't feel right to me. Streaming is the easiest job there is. Hot take, I know, sorry, that was a blistering, scalding magma that I just spewed out there, but it is just the truth. I sit in swamp ass for a few hours every day, well, at least I used to when I was a full-time streamer, playing games, or just yapping. Now compare that Weenie Hut Jr. routine to a normal person who is actually working their ass off every single day in a 9-to-5 environment, grinding in the hopes of chasing the American dream. And then they'll come home, maybe turn on my stream and donate a couple of dollars to me. And it just doesn't sit right with me taking that kind of money, given what I've made from all of this. And I really should have just stopped this a long time ago, especially considering this is just the Twitch side of things. I told you, I'm going to show you my YouTube earnings. So be ready, because here it is! Huge fucking number, an unfathomable amount of money. From starting this channel in 2007 all the way until today, I have made $35.8 million. I never even imagined that amount of money was possible to earn without just being born rich. I have said from day one, I got incredibly lucky. I will never be able to put into words just how lucky I got with all of this shit here. I'm not special. I got lucky. I have always said that, and I still believe that to this day. Now, something I saw a lot of people asking after the video I made about turning off all the donation stuff is how much money I'm leaving on the table. And while it's kind of hard to show it on Twitch considering both subs and bits are technically still on, even though I discourage both and have bits at a point where I don't think it's even possible to use them, I still can't get like a hard number on what's like gone now or anything like that. But on YouTube, I can show you directly. So with memberships and supers/gifts, I made over $1 million. Keep in mind, I've only had those things enabled for about a year. That was $1 million in a year from just normal people donating it to me. Again, that just doesn't fucking sit right with me. Now, I know there are plenty of streamers and YouTubers that have significantly more money than me and have subs and donations on and whatever. I don't care. Like I said, this is not me trying to lead some kind of revolution here where all of them turn it off. It's their choice to make. I wanted to explain fully why I don't want normal people just giving me their money anymore at all. Also, to be honest, I think just full goatseeing, showing how much streaming/YouTubing can make, just showing you the full, unedited, raw numbers is probably helpful for normal people so they can see how much money is in this space, because I think there's often so many question marks from people wondering how much does a streamer or YouTuber make? They'll either say like they're making billions of dollars or they're making nothing. There's never like an in-between because there's never any like really hard numbers to look at. So I think something like this can be helpful for that, especially because over the years I've noticed there's been a multitude of creators that have come out and tried to like underplay how well off they are financially because they believe it could be somewhat of a brand risk where if they are perceived as being someone that's very rich, well, maybe their audience wouldn't like them as much because they're no longer relatable. It's just something I've seen here and there over the years from a bunch of different creators, and I just find it a bit disingenuous. So hopefully something like this can help show that if someone is in like the top sphere of YouTube or Twitch, they are very, very well off financially. Anyway, though, if you add both of these numbers up, I've made a total of $41.3 million. But that's not to say that's what I have. Now, I do live in Florida, which means there is no individual income tax. Big time Florida W right there. And I know, I'm big time gushing grannies, Florida glazer. I've lived here my whole life, and that is something very nice about it. But it's not to say that the tax man comes in gentle with the lube. He still goes whole hog raw. It is still brutal when the tax man comes a-knockin'. He'll blow up your guts. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Obviously, a good chunk instantly goes to taxes. There's also like salaries for the people that I pay on my team, other expenses, and also for the first 4 to 5 years of me earning money through my YouTube channel, I donated every single dollar to charity. So while I may have earned $41 million over the course of my time online, I don't have nearly that much. But I still have more money than I will ever know what to fully do with. And I actually thought it would be kind of fun to go through like a deep dive on what it looks like. You know, taxes, expenses, all that kind of thing to see how it all breaks down. But maybe that's a topic best left for a different video. So for now, I'll probably just conclude it here. Hopefully this was insightful. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.